Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Tuesday! And look at that, I have the camera going the right way. You know, after last week's shenanigans that we had, and by the time I'm done, you know, the whole nervousness thing goes away. And I went back in and looked at the app that I have to use to do this, and there was this little blurb that said to restart your phone to enable the app. Yeah, did I feel stupid afterwards or what? Oh well, lesson learned. So, hello! How's your week going so far? If you join me, please say hello. I may not be able to comment to you directly because, you know, I'm busy trying to make sure I'm doing what I'm doing, but I will definitely leave a comment to you in our Facebook, on the Facebook post. Let's see, I'm trying to pull it up on my laptop. Okay, there I am. Yay. Good. It's always nice to things start to work the way they're supposed to. You know me and technology. It doesn't always coincide. So anyway, okay. How come this is not going? Make sure. Oh, I see a finger moving. All right. So today we're going to play with the Lovely and Sweet stamp set along with the Notes of Nature. If you haven't gotten these, I urge you to get both because they play very, very well together, which is probably why they coordinate them in a suite. If you had been by my blog earlier, I'm looking for my card now, I used it for my Casing Tuesday project. I used the Notes of Nature. Well, naturally it's not. Oh, I see it. Hang on. Let me get it. I used the Notes of Nature for my card. And these types of stamps, you know, I know there's a name for it, and of course I can't think of it at the moment. They build really pretty stamped images for scrapbook layouts, etc. But my mind doesn't always go that way. So I practiced on this card. This is the sketch that we had on Casing Tuesday. And I'd used the Pebbled Path ink on the boho blue card base to stamp my background and some more here. And then here was the inside of my card. So I thought this was the perfect time to play with this suite so that you can see everything. Let me show you the two cards you're going to make, that we are going to make today. This one was actually my mystery stamping project at our team meeting this past Saturday. And it's a Z fold. Isn't that cute? Love it, love it, love it. There's the envelope. And I stamped this big image on both my envelopes. And then my swap card I thought was another fun one to share. This is the swap card I created for our team, as we swap cards every month. And there's the inside. So that's what we're going to be making here in a minute. I'll show you my scrapbook layout. So in September, Larry and I will have been married 39 years. And I've been trying to scrapbook our wedding photos and get them out of those funky page, you know, remember the old sticky back photo albums? Yeah. So I pulled out back in the day, they would give you a book that had the proofs. And this is one of those proofs. That's, of course, me and then my mom and my dad, who are no longer with us. But back then, as you can see, the color scheme there was dusty rose and gray. And I thought the Moody Mauve and Pebble Path went really well for that. I used some gold foil on the edge. And here's a piece. This is 4 by 12 inches of the Designer Series paper. I wanted something very subtle for the background. And then this one, I think, is... Oh, all the measurements are on today's blog post. I think it's 7 3/4. See, 6 by 7 3/4. And then my piece of Moody Mauve is 8.5 by I think it's 9, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I have all the measurements on today's blog post. So the photo is a 5x5 photo, and I layered it on basic white in a pebbled path photo mats. And then I made this little cluster embellishment using the basic white, gold foil, and vellum. This little image here kind of reminded me of the Stephanotis, is that how you say that? Which was in my wedding bouquet. And of course my gardenias, which are my very, very favorite. And at that time I really liked tiger lilies too. I still do, but their aroma is very overpowering for me. And then here's a better look at the vellum. This is one die cut. Let me bring this down. This is one die cut here, and I just cut it twice, so that just kind of made the gold foiling underneath a little more subtle. And then I added some of the 23, 25 in color dots in the wild wheat, which really takes on a gold hue. And then there's one in the moody mauve. This little die here is from, where'd the stamps go? Let's see. I think it's in the Notes of Nature. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's in the Lovely and Sweet. Yep, it's in the Lovely and Sweet pack. This is why you need to get both sets, because you can have all of those die cuts. And it's just a gorgeous set. All right, so let's get started on our cards. We're going to actually do the Z-fold card first, and we're going to die cut those little leaves. I'll do that, and I'll punch my circle out for the other card. And this is the 1 3/4 inch circle punch. I'm just going to punch this out first so that it's ready to go when we get started on the next card. Set that aside, and then we're going to stamp those leaves in boho blue. And I have my stamps right here. And my die cut machine is also in boho blue. Okay, there. Let's clean that off. That's the only time we're going to use that stamp. Okay. We'll close this up because we know if we don't, Lori's going to stick her elbow in the ink pad. So this is the little mini stamp cut and emboss machine. As far as I know, the blue is still available. If it's not, you can get it in the white. Okay, let's get that die out. And it is right here. Hi, Kathy. How are you feeling? I'm glad you joined me. You know, a lot of times when I don't see any comments, it kind of makes me worried that it might not be actually live, even though the little bar at the top says live. Okay, so we're just going to die cut this. Oops. Well, try that again. Here we go. Set the plate down carefully and just run it through. Okay, and that's all we need that machine for. The die back in with my stamp set. Close this up and set it aside. All right. Set that here, and we'll get out the packet. I had already die cut the blue leaves and the 2 labels. The labels are from the die set from the Thoughtful Expressions. That's the stamp and die bundle that has the hummingbird on it. These are actually going to be carrying forward into the new catalog. Okay, so our card base is 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 1 1/2 and 5 1/2. So once you fold the card in half, you want to fold this piece back to help create the Z. See the Z? Okay. So we have a piece of, oh, you know what I don't have? Uh-oh. I thought I cut that piece too. Maybe did I put it in here? Nope. Let me go grab a piece of basic white, as I need to create this layer right here. Whoops. We're off to a good start. Oh well. Why are we surprised? We shouldn't be. Okay. Let's bring over my my trimmer. Okay. So we need a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of basic white. I should really keep this next to me with some scraps sometimes. Okay. There we go. Set the rest of that down. And we're going to add a 4 by 4 piece of designer series paper. You think the surgery drugs are wearing off? Ooh, time to add more drugs. Yeah, don't let that pain get ahead of you. Okay, so we're going to add this here, just like so. Now you have 2 pieces that are both 2 inches by 4 inches. One of them is going to go on the inside of the card, just like, let's see, just like so. Okay, and then the other piece is going to go on the card front, right here to the left. You want to make sure you have that 1/4 inch of white space around the designer series paper. Okay, now you're going to add some adhesive on the front of this flap, and you're going to add this layer right to it. Oops, hang on. Houston, we got a problem. Speaking of Houston, I'm sure sorry I didn't go to Houston for on stage, but what are you going to do? Can't do it all. Okay, so lay this back down. There. Now everything's straight. And that creates our Z-fold. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and it's going to be in Pebbled Path. And I'm going to want to add some of the speckles in the boho blue, but I want them stamped off, so I'm going to bring over a piece of the grid paper. So here's my sentiment. And we're just going to stamp him right there. Okay. And then we'll bring in the speckles. Speckles, splatter, you know. And now I'm just going to turn this around just so it gets the edge. Okay. Close this up. Now I'm going to add the leaves and the other leaves, if I can pick this up, and I'm going to assemble them with mini glue dots. Mini glue dots from my paper pumpkins. So I'm going to add one there. I trimmed my nails last night and I can't pick anything up. I'm going to add another one down here, just like that. And even though it's hanging over the stem, it's okay because we're going to lift everything up with dimensionals. So I'm going to put this coming out the back of those leaves like that. Okay? And then I'm going to add another one right here at the base. I'm going to add that. Let's see, let's do it right there. And we're going to add some dimensionals. Just like so. We can put one on that too so it doesn't flop around. Oops, you know what? We have a backing. There we go. Move all that stuff over. And we're going to attach him to the front. Just like so. I just love that pebbled path and the boho blue together. And I'm going to add some of those in color dots. I'm going to add one here. And put one here. And then another one up here. Whoops. Right there. And our card front is done. You could always sprinkle more if you wanted. We don't need the mini glue dot backing. Okay, so for the inside, I'm going to stamp that really large, that's the almond blossom image. And I'm going to stamp it in Pebbled Path. And to create the second generation without wasting ink, I'm going to stamp it on my envelope first. Okay, I'm just going to stamp him right about there. And then we're going to come in and add him right there. Okay, oops. We're going to put our, I forgot about this part here. Oh, sometimes she really doesn't know what she's doing, I guess. Okay, good thing we're putting our sentiment on a label. All right. Ay, ay, ay. So, I'm going to take my sentiment, I'm going to stamp it on my label here. Just like so. And I'm going to come back in with those speckles. And we're going to stamp off. I'm going to turn them around like that. Let's fold this up for a second. I see disaster all over the place. Come in like this. And then I want to do the same. And I want them to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to come in, turn that around like so. And we're going to add this guy right over all of that so that hides that. And we're going to put that on dimensionals, which normally I don't put the insides on dimensionals, but this one I decided to be a little different. I'm going to set that right here, and nobody's the wiser that that was stamped before. So you can always write in this section here. Our card is done, and so is our envelope. And we'll set those aside. Okay? We'll go on to our next one. All right. Let's clean that off because we don't need any more blue. So I know there's been a lot of cards with that fold down technique there in the corner. I know there's probably a name for it, but I don't know what it is. And I've even seen scrapbook pages with it. Some very pretty scrapbook pages. So I thought that's what I would give a shot at. So my card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of that designer series paper, 4 by 5 1/4. And then I took a piece of, and it was actually a scrap of gold foiling, and it's, hi Beth, I see you now. A piece of the gold foiling that measured 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I cut it on the diagonal. So I'm going to add that to my card first. And since it's going behind the fold, I'm going to make sure that I have a 1/4 inch all the way around, so that it looks like it's part of this designer series paper, just like that. Okay, so I'm going to add this, just like this. And I'm going to come over, make sure I did it right. One never knows with me. Okay, so we're just going to lay that down. Come on, get over there. So that it becomes, okay, And this piece, I'm just going to come here and I am going to fold it down so you don't even see the card base underneath. Just like that. Okay? Now I'm going to take my sentiment circle. I'm going to stamp this right here. And then I'm going to add my gold foil and pebbled path leaves. Same thing I did before. Just going to add, oh, that didn't come off. Add that. Just like that. Well, it's stuck to my finger. Okay. Pull this off. We'll add the little gold so that brings in all of that gold foiling. And I'm going to add that to the back. Rather than mess with a mini glue dot, I'm just going to add some. Okay. Now add some more dimensionals. And we'll use that. Actually, I'm going to add a mini glue dot. Did I put, no, they're right here. To secure that flap down. Just add him right there. Okay. And then this is going to go over the edge of that flap, like so. Oh, I guess it helps if you take the backings off. I'm busy watching the clock. I have to go pick up Charlie in a few minutes. So he's going to secure the circle like that. Okay. Yesterday when I finished off my scrapbook page, he was looking at it and he says, "Does that say 85 as in 1985, Nana?" And I says, "Yeah." He says, "Wow, that was a long time ago, huh?" Bless his heart. Okay, so, whoops, that's kind of at the edge. We'll move him up. My other sample, I used Festive Pearls. This one I'm going to use those wild wheat so you can see the difference. And I'll just add another one. Where'd he go? Okay, I'll put one here. And we'll put, well, gosh. We'll put one right smack in the middle of that flower bud. And one more over here. Okay. Where's my sample card? Here it is. So there it is with the pearls. And there it is with those wild wheat dots. I think I almost like the wild wheat dots better. All right, let's do our inside of the card and we'll be done. Okay, we're going to do this again. See how we pull this one off. Ah. So, you know what? We're going to cut a little bigger here. And I stamped it upside down. Hey, bless her heart. Okay, so there we go. We got that part right anyway. That's okay. I'm gonna address it that way and send it off that way. Who cares? Okay, so for the inside, what did I put on the inside of this card? Oh, that's right, I didn't stamp a sentiment. Let's see, where is my stamp set? We're going to make this a birthday card. And this is the sentiment that I used on my scrapbook layout that I masked the happy birthday portion off of. We're going to stamp this right there. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. This layer here is 3 3/4 by 5 for those that don't watch me very often. And guess what? We're done. Ay, ay, ay. Always shenanigans around here, you know that. Okay, so there's the first card, and there's the one we created. Let's move this out of the way. And then our two other cards. I definitely like the wild wheat dots better. That's more of a statement, right? Okay. Well, I thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me this afternoon, the hot mess that I am. Here's another look at my scrapbook layout from a really long time ago, all last century. There's that sentiment I just stamped on the inside. I thought that was a perfect title, so to speak, for my layout. All right. I will have all of the measurements for today's projects on today's blog post. You just have to go in and link it to this video. I hope you have a great rest of your week. First day of spring today, isn't it? Hooray, hooray. Yeah, it's supposed to be, what, 72 today, and then by the weekend it's going to be cold and raining again. So here we go. Welcome to Reading. Like I said, I will have all the measurements in today's projects on today's blog post, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Take care. Bye.